Hi Cheryl, I'm Kate. I'm the podiatrist. So thank you for inviting me in today. I'm going to be looking at your feet, so I'll be doing some foot health with you and cutting your nails and seeing if anything else needs doing today. Is that okay?
That's great, thank you.
Yeah. So, but before we do that, can you just check just to get some background information from my perspective. So you're recently diagnosed with diabetes, is that right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me about that, Harry?
Well, it's pretty tough, I thought I was quite healthy. I didn't sort of see it coming really, and it's just a massive lifestyle change. And I have been really struggling actually with giving up. I did really like eating cake and biscuits and things, and so I'm not completely successful, to be honest, at not eating those things.
So it's been a massive lifestyle change, not something that you were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear you say you're struggling to give up cake. Is that right?
Yeah. It just feels like it's kind of, after it was just something I enjoyed, I guess. Well, lots of people do, don't they? Like eating biscuits and cakes.
Yeah, so you enjoy eating biscuits and cakes. Yeah. Okay. What's the impact on you now if you do eat biscuits and cake?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know I shouldn't be, and I sort of feel it straight away. And I just know I've got to give them up because, well, I've got this diagnosis anyway, and I've got to stop. And I have problems with it. I go hypo, and
so I'm hearing it's having an impact on your quality of life, and it's really difficult to give up eating the things that we now know you shouldn't be eating. But how important is it for you? On say a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most important, how important is it for you to give up those foods?
Yeah, it's obviously really important for me to give them up. It's like an 8 or a 9 or something.
Oh, an 8 or a 9, that's excellent.
Yeah.
What makes it an 8 or a 9 as opposed to, say, a 3 or a 4?
Well, I know I've got to give up. I can't carry on like this, so...
Brilliant. Okay. So ask the question again, slightly differently, and thinking about that scale, how confident do you feel that you could give up cake and biscuits, for example?
Yeah, it's probably like a 5 or a 6.
Okay, so that's interesting then. So a 5 or a 6. Why would you say it's a 5 or a 6 as opposed to, say, a 2 or a 3?
Well, I suppose I do have. I think perhaps I can do it. So it's not like I know. I'm not like, oh, there's no way I'm not going to do it. But it's just really, really difficult. I probably have periods as well where I don't. And there'll be periods in the day where I can put things off, and then I'll have a sort of weak moment, or something will happen, or...
Sure. So what we found out then, it's really important, you say 8 or a 9 important to try and change the behaviour so that you feel better.
Yeah.
And yet but on a scale of confidence, it's about a 5 or a 6, which is good. And you recognise that it's not always a problem, but sometimes you have moments of weakness, I think you said, that would derail you, I suppose, a bit, and reach out for that cake. So if we come back to the score of a 5 or a 6, what do you think would help you get to, say, an 8 or a 9 in terms of feeling more confident to give up the food?
Well, it's like that thing, isn't it? If there wasn't any temptation, probably would be the biggest thing. Just sort of, riding through those times when it's like, oh, I really want something sweet, and then I can put it off, but then sometimes I give in. So, yeah. I suppose I could... It's quite hard because you sort of feel like, oh, other people in the family want things, but perhaps we've just got to not have things in the house, I suppose.
That sounds like a really positive way forwards.
Yeah.
Well, how about you give that a go, and then I'm coming in again in a few weeks' time to look at your feet again and assess where we're at.
Mm.
So how about we catch up then and see how that's working out for you?
Yeah, no, I'll try that, and I'll say to everyone else in the family, I'll say, just eat your sweet things outside the house. Yeah. No, I'll yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, okay.
Great.